Hello and welcome to Smooth Musings. It's a podcast brought to you by Smooth Fusion. I'm your host today, Todd Knowlton, and I have a very special guest with me today. This guy here, he is like Cher or Beyonce. He doesn't even need a last name. He is known far and wide as Lino. So I tell you, Smooth Fusion's been building websites for over 2 decades. But today's guest and I go way back farther than that. So we met back in the .com boom days. But it also just so happens that Lino is the #1 trainer for Progress Sitefinity in the whole world. And we're proud to partner with Lino to bring his classes and courses to our customers. So welcome, Lino.
It is a pleasure to be here, Todd. Thank you so much for having me. It has been, 25 years that we've known each other, boss?
Yeah, about 25 years.
Oh, my goodness. We're getting old, man. I'm telling you.
That's just a quarter of a century. That's not so bad. Hey, so Lino, let's just get into this. Give us a quick background on your work with Sitefinity, and then in particularly the training that you do for Sitefinity.
Yes, absolutely. Well, it has been 19 years since I started working with Sitefinity. I enjoy it very much. I'm close to the team in Bulgaria and also here in Boston. And I enjoy working with the product. I'm certified on a lot of different CMS systems, including Sitecore and Kentico and Sitefinity and others as well. But I really enjoy working with Sitefinity. And I've been doing a lot of consulting, over 350 plus projects on the product over the last 19 years. Not only in the United States, but in Europe and in the Far East as well. And I started writing books on Sitefinity almost 16 years ago. So I have 8 books on Sitefinity. And I have a lot of videos on udemy.com for courses for Pluralsight. And I have hundreds of different videos all over the place on YouTube for Sitefinity as well. Currently, I'm the official trainer for Progress on Sitefinity. I've been doing that for a decade. And I have 7 classes that I teach almost every 45 days. I have a business class for business analysts and contributors to the back end, an easy non-technical class just to show how easy it is to use Sitefinity as a back end user. I have an admin and a designer class to show admins how to deal with the back end, and also designers how to create templates, how to change widget templates, and how to make modification to the way Sitefinity looks. I have a developer class that is very popular. Always we have people in that class trying to learn MVC and how to create widgets and how to use the APIs, web services APIs, REST APIs. That goes very well as well. And we have an advanced development class that happens once a quarter. And that one, we go a little bit further. We make Sitefinity make coffee pretty much. So in this one, so we try to create providers and trying to create security based on bearer tokens and go a little bit farther than just development to show interested parties how to do that in Sitefinity. I have a new one for a year now. It's called the .NET Core development class. We do everything in Vue components and use the .NET Core, create templates, create widgets, the .NET Core way. And also on the second day of the class, we do everything in React as well, so people get a flavor of building things in .NET Core and in React. I have a very short class, 4 hours on SiteSync for people that want to know the ins and outs on SiteSync, how to do it visually and also how to do it in code if they want to for scheduling and so on. And there is the big one for SiteSync that has been going really haywired. So that one is heavy on marketing to be able to show people the goal behind conversions and personas and attributions. This is very important for a marketing team to be able to use the maximum based on personalization inside of Sitefinity with Sitefinity Insight as well. So between these 7 classes, I've been enjoying teaching pretty much thousands of people over the last maybe 15, 16 years that I've started doing the training. So it's been a lot of fun.
So what was kind of the original motivation or need that you saw that made you want to get more into the training side of things?
It's amazing. It's not only in Sitefinity, but a lot of companies end up buying a software and they don't know where to start. So that software starts going on the shelf for 6 months, for a year. Nobody wants to touch it because they don't know where to start. I felt always to be successful with any product. I do that with Sitefinity, with testing tools, with a lot of different technical tools. If you show a bunch of people in a company how to be successful, how to use it correctly, and they see the ease of use and understand what's going on, they will all want to use it. When you get a black box, and Sitefinity is not a small product, there is so much in it. And when you start it and you look at it, it's like, I don't know where to start. I don't know anything about Sitefinity. Let's get to back later. So with my training, I'm trying to get people encouraged to jump in and see how easy it is, and then grow with it. Give it to himself a couple of months, and you will be an expert in the product. The product, if you know ASP.NET, I think you would feel right at home, and you'd be very productive with the product. So training gets definitely people to love Sitefinity really quickly.
Yeah. Do you have any maybe some examples? We at Smooth Fusion really want to help our customers be as self-sufficient as possible. Obviously we build them a website on a platform like Sitefinity. It makes sense that they need to be able to utilize it as best they can. Do you have some examples or maybe almost like case studies of situations where maybe a marketing team was not able to take advantage of what they had with Sitefinity until after they took your training?
Yes. For instance, I find a lot of my customers that don't know that personalization has nothing to do with Sitefinity Insight. It can augment it, but you can still use it without Sitefinity Insight. And that's a big shocker for them. A lot of companies are under the understanding that for you to use personalization, you have to purchase Sitefinity Insight, which is not true. There is a lot you can do in Sitefinity with personalization. And of course, you can add more to it if you have Sitefinity Insight. But without it, you can be very productive and create some amazing things with that as well. And a lot of people that I do for templates and for administration, they are under the impression as well that Sitefinity will only work with Bootstrap 5 currently because that's the only one that comes with it. But they are shocked when they see us bringing in Semantic UI or Foundation or Tailwind or Pure or even Google Material Design. You can use any UX framework you want. It's just that the one that is built into the Bootstrap 5, as long as you bring in the JavaScript and the CSS files and use it correctly with the correct amount of chunks, like the 12 chunks in Bootstrap 5, in some others it's 16. As long as you understand these things, you can use whatever UX framework that you want. And we do that in the training, and people really, it's an eye-opener for a lot of designers. They think they're stuck with only Bootstrap 5.
Yeah, those are great examples. You mentioned Sitefinity Insight, and our team is particularly excited about what our customers can do with Sitefinity Insight. But for anybody listening that doesn't know a whole lot about the power of Sitefinity Insight, can you give us sort of a quick summary of what it can do for them and kind of your process in that training?
It is an amazing product, actually, and it keeps going so fast. Every 6 months, there is so many new features coming in, so the team is working very heavily on it. You probably remember, Todd, because we are both on the advisory board for the product, where we were 2 years ago and where we are today with Sitefinity Insight is just really amazing. And also the future of it with all the artificial intelligence they're putting into the product is really amazing. And the fact is, any marketing team that's running a comprehensive website or a bunch of websites for their company, they want to find out who's coming to the site, from where, what are they interested in, where are they going, what is the journey. So put 2 lines under the word journey. Being able to understand the journey of individual coming to the site is very important to find out what works, what it does not work. And what I mean by work, what we call it the conversion in the Sitefinity Insight. Obviously, you want them to do something. You want them to fill up a contact us page, form, for instance, or you want them to buy something in your e-commerce. You want them to at the end of the day, you want them to do something. Maybe even download a PDF or view a blog, something. These are called conversion. So we want to find out what actually causes that conversion to happen. Is it watching a video? Is it maybe reading a couple of blog posts? Is it a press release? Is it the homepage is very good that has a big button that you click on it and it gets to where you want? And whatever works, we want to duplicate that for other places as well. But I want to see the journey. A lot of people think that you have to know who is on the site. You don't. We don't have to have somebody logging in. You could be just a surfer on the website, but I will put you in what we call a bucket. And that bucket is called a persona. So I might have maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 personas that I would like to put people in. And the nice thing about Sitefinity Insight is that I can use it with personalization, so I can change the content of the site on the fly based about who do you think I think they are. I'll give you an example, for instance, Don. If you go to the Progress website, there is a link for training that brings you into my website. But as you know, I do a lot of training on Sitefinity, on Smart Bear Test Complete, on Azure, on AWS, a lot of products. If you're clicking on my link directly from the Progress website, you're probably coming to me because of Sitefinity. That's the only product I have on my website. Why would I want to dilute your experience on my homepage to show you these other 10 different things that I do? So what I do, if I see the referrer coming from progress.com, I change the content on the homepage. It's not another page. It's the same page. I just change the content. Now it's all about my Sitefinity class schedule, about my training, about my videos. So you will feel right at home. So you don't have to spend too much time clicking and trying to find out where the Sitefinity things is. And this is just one out of 14 different user segments that you can set. And that's called the referrer. But it could be based on a landing page. It could be based on visited pages on the site, by location, by IP address. There is so many segments that you can define to change the content on the fly if you want to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's great. And that's a great overview of the product for sure. But like if I'm, listening to you, it's like, okay, this is a big product. It sounds complex. What is your process like if I were to come to a class of yours to learn about Insight? How do you approach that?
Well, you'll be shocked to tell you this. We don't touch the product for the whole first day. The whole first day, we don't even look at the product at all. We spend the whole time on the whiteboard. That is the important part. The product is easy to pick up, but you need to understand as a marketing team, what exactly are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish? What are your goals and what you have as well? Sitting down on the whiteboard with the marketing team, trying to understand what each team wants, because every team in the company wants different things. Being to be able to put that and understand the goals, what the company is trying to accomplish. What is the most important thing as far as conversions for the company? Forget about the product. The product is easy. We can implement it later. But trying to put that stuff on the whiteboard and understand, once you have all the facts, taking that stuff from the whiteboard and going and implementing in Sitefinity is not a big deal at all. It's always the problem about people want to start creating things in the product, but they really don't know what they want. And that becomes a real problem. Not only that, but Insight or any other product you use for marketing, this is not a one-time thing. You set it and you forget it. This is a continuous tweaking. You have to keep tweaking almost every week, every couple of weeks max. But you need to understand the journey of the people coming to your website and start making tweaks, adding things here, removing things from here, creating an A/B test on some of the pages, doing all the stuff to try new things to start getting better recommendation and better conversion rates, which the system gives you the percentage of the conversions automatically as well. So it's a continuous work. It's not a one-time thing and you forget it. You'll have to keep at it to get it better and better. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Perhaps if you were more passionate about it, you would be a better trainer.
Maybe. I'll give it a shot.
So let's drill in a little bit on one of your others. You have a Sitefinity admin and designer class.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more specifically about what you would expect, what I would expect if I'm signing up for that.
Excellent. Yeah. So if you're an admin, you're interested in some things. I want to find out about permissions, about users, about roles, about Azure Active Directory, which is now called Entra ID, how to hook it up. I want to find out how to do approval processes, whether it's a 1 level, 2 level, or 3 levels of approvals, so that managers can approve things before they are published to the site. I want to also have an understanding of the administration settings. I want to find out how to set cores in case I need to bring in data from the outside that do not belong to that domain. I want to bring in from YouTube, or I want to bring something from a CDN that will be rejected automatically nowadays in Sitefinity. The admins need to know about all of these things. One of the things that people love is that when we show them how to add extra button into the WYSIWYG editor of Sitefinity, because the WYSIWYG editor for Kendo UI is excellent, has a lot of different buttons, but they wish they had extra buttons to show their own themes and their own CSS in there. And once you show them how to add different buttons, they find, oh my goodness, I'm going to have a lot of fun. Of course, some business users Unfortunately, they want to add the change color and the background color and the font, which designers hate that because they turn the website into a mariachi band at the end of the day, and they don't like that. So we try to keep these things out. But there's other things like PDF. All of these are built into the Kendo UI, but they're not automatically installed in Sitefinity. But you can, with a couple of double quotes and a word, you can actually have all of these things happening. So they like that a lot. And from the designer perspective, Todd, we spend a lot of time talking about templates, how to use templates in the user interface, how to create templates the right way in the CS HTML in the code. We try to explain the difference between CI/CD on the database level and CI/CD on the code level, because you're going to need both. One, to the database, we're going to need SiteSync to do that. And for the file base, whether you're using GitHub Actions or Azure DevOps or even Jenkins, the way you can actually use pipelines and move things between your development environment to your QA environment, to UAT, all the way to production, how to do all that stuff automatically so you don't have to babysit all that stuff. They find it very, very useful to be able to deal with that. Plus, of course, the widgets. If you want to change the way the news widget works or the blog looks or the events or the list or your own custom modules, we show how to do that in CS HTML files as well to give it a new font, new background, new this and that, animation. All of these things are covered in the designer class as well with the admin class.
That's great. So I know in addition to these regular courses that you offer, you do some custom classes, custom arrangements. Tell us a little bit about how that might work to set up something that's custom.
Yeah, a lot of time a customer would like a 3-day class, for instance, that combines different things. They want a designer and a developer class for the same group, for instance, and they want to pick and choose what they would like to learn, some things they're not interested in. They want to combine MVC and .NET Core in the same class. So they start with MVC, and then they want to find out how to do that in .NET Core. And I always definitely accept these classes. They can choose definitely from a long list of things that we can actually teach, and they can combine it. But usually these are private classes for a specific company. And during COVID, unfortunately, we didn't fly for a long time, but now it's opening up again. So we're actually asked to fly in on East Coast, West Coast, and everything in between, including Europe as well, to go do face-to-face classes as well. So I miss those very much. I miss being around people. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, so if anybody listening is, looking to learn more about your training, they can obviously reach out to any of the contacts they may have here at Smooth Fusion. But what's the best way to contact you directly?
Actually, if you go to my website, thetrainingboss.com, all my classes there, including also other things in Sitefinity, if you'd like to actually learn how to use Sitefinity with Azure, for instance, or you would like to put it in a data center and you want to do security. I also offer, like I told you before, Todd, a security overview for your entire website and also a performance overview for your entire website. But the training, all the classes with a full definition and all the different things that I teach in every single one of the classes are available on the website, thetrainingboss.com. You can definitely go there and take a look. And you can reach out to me, you can fill up the contact or send me an email. It's all on the website. I'll be more than happy to get back to you as soon as possible.
Okay. Well, all right, Lino, what did I forget to ask? What else do you need to talk about?
You just forgot to ask me, what did you get that nice shirt from? This is from my friends at
Hey, that's right. He's got his Smooth Fusion shirt on.
For Christmas. Thank you, Todd, for doing that. I will wear it very proudly.
Well, you are welcome. We're glad you have it. Thanks, Lino. Appreciate it.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much, Todd. Have a great Merry Christmas and a great holidays.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Smooth Musings. If you liked today's episode, make sure to subscribe, share it with someone, and rate us on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. This podcast is presented by Smooth Fusion. If you'd like more information about Smooth Fusion and how we help our customers with websites, custom software, and more, go to www.smoothfusion.com.